Hi everyone, it's a great pleasure to be here with you today and to share insight about hospitality in Africa in the post-COVID era. So before we go into the topic, let me introduce myself. So my name is Guilain DENISSELLE. I've been working in hospitality for more than 30 years now, working in hotel operations, PMS, channel manager, CRS, and doing consulting for more than 20 years. And I've been writing articles for 20 years, launched my own web magazine called TendanceHotellerie 11 years ago, and it's all in French. So the Hotelier Digital Future panel we've got is going to talk about several topics: digital hospitality, communication trends, artificial intelligence, and mobile app. We get into the topics. Each panelist is going to introduce himself and tell us a bit about himself, his company, and how his company is doing since the beginning of the pandemic. So, Abbas, would you like to start?
With pleasure. Good morning, all. Thank you for participating. My name is Abbas Shabasy. I'm working as the corporate director of IT of Sunrise Resorts and Cruises. It's a company located in local company in Egypt. We managed and have some hotels. We have 15 hotels and 6 night cruises. It will look for plus one. Our most of hotels located in Hurghada. It's the first city, tourism city in Egypt. It's far from, it's South Egypt and far from the capital, 450 kilometers. We have more than 5,000 employees. We have more than 5,000 rooms. We have hotels in Hurghada and Mars Alam and Sharm el-Sheikh. And recently one in Alexandria, it's north of Egypt. I'm working with the hospitality more than 20 years. Especially first of the pandemic of the COVID-19, we closed most of hotels because we have zero occupancy crisis. And after a few months, after we make requirements and protect for the COVID-19, we start to open a few hotels between the cities. For example, one hotel is only in Sharm el-Sheikh and 3 hotels in Hurghada. And you are working with the local guests, with Egyptian guests, because all planned or a country is stand and blocked. So we are focused with the local guests to get a volume of business, to avoid close the hotels and keep the business running. That business is very low, but we need to keep our staff and our company is open to running even low business and low occupancy to cope all of these conditions. The most people working are the IT, because we already converted all people, all workers at the digital way. Especially the mobile app, make digital signs for electronic RC, make online check-in before arrival, everything do by IT. Digital menu, ordering by digital, ordering your restaurants by digital, by app. The guys in the hotels as a working, he's IT, because he converted everything as digital to matching with the requirements of COVID-19. We did a lot of things during this period.
Thank you very much, Abbas. So let's Pieter introduce himself and his company.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining this panel. My name is Pieter Jordaan, or English Pieter Jordaan. I'm the Group Chief Technology Officer for TUI Group. We are a listed company in German stock market and London stock market. We have around 70,000 employees. We have 1,600 travel agencies, so we are an integrated tour operator. We also have our own airlines. We have 150 aircrafts, over 400 of our own hotels. We have a lot of contracted in hotels as well. We have 17 cruise liners. So that has obviously been very interesting with COVID. And to give you an idea, we take around 27 million customers on holiday every year in around 180 regions. So we are quite widespread in the world. In Africa, we have 24 hotels. And my role and what I would like to bring to this panel is, I think, a little bit of the global perspective. We've got quite a wide range of penetration, impact, especially everything from ports having to close, how you deal with that, your aircrafts, your cruise liners, your hotels, your destinations, your transfers, and and all those type of things. I would like to kind of bring the tour operator perspective to the panel. My current role is overseeing all 15 countries. We're also consolidating all our IT across the different hotel brands, airlines into single IT platforms. So digitalization, bringing everything on one digital platform. We're also moving everything to the cloud. We have ambition to close all our data centers in the next year. So we have about 24 data centers globally. So we are very, very active in the IT space. And of course, it's a big enabler for the business as well. I like what Abbas said. This IT has been very active, actually. It's been a big enabler in COVID and post-COVID activities in the resorts, in aircrafts, etc. So I'm looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you, Pieter. Roshan, can you say about you, your company, and how is the business going these days?
Thank you, Guilain. First of all, thank you for welcoming me in this unique conference in Africa. I think it's a very commendable initiative from the organizers, and I would like to congratulate them. I'm also very privileged today to be among all these distinguished panelists, and I'm sure we're going to spend some good time together for the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Myself, Roshan, Koonja, I'm 24 years in hospitality, currently working as a Group Chief Information Officer for Constance Hotels and Constance Hospitality Management Limited. As well, I am the chairman of the IT Steering Committee. I work closely with the directors in order to advise on the strategical, technological direction for the group. I think I'm quite privileged to be with the board because it shows the maturity that the group has got, because the board believes in the technology and I got the ear from them. And this gives an extra comfort for our owners and our shareholders. Constance Hospitality Management Limited has got 3 main brands. It's a Mauritian-based company, and it's based on the Mauritian DNA, which are the smiles and the warmth. We have hotels in Mauritius, Seychelles, Maldives, and Madagascar. And with 2 in Mauritius, 2 in the Seychelles, 2 in the Maldives, and 1 in Madagascar. We have been known as to be in the luxury segment, really on top of the class. Recently, we won a number of World Travel Awards, and just last week, we even won a number of the global and regional luxury awards. This really shows you what kind of segment we are found into. We are also a few of our hotels, part of the leading hotels of the world, and we are also proud to know that one of our hotels in Mauritius, which is the Prince Louis Hotels, voted top 25 in the world for the 2 consecutive years by TripAdvisor. The second brand which we have in Constance is the Constance Golf. We have 2 golf courses in Mauritius and 1 in Seychelles. Quite pioneer in that sense, because we welcome the Senior European Tour for those who play golf, and we could not welcome them this year because of the pandemic, but we are hoping that next year we will be welcoming them again. The last brand, the last baby of the group, is a new brand which we call the C brand, and the C brand is more an upper scale lifestyle brand for someone who is looking for a different kind of hospitality service and really leaving out some serious visitors who wants to come around our islands. Let me start with Mauritius because the headquarters is based in Mauritius. Currently, Mauritius is known as COVID-free, or I would say COVID-safe, because for the last 8-9 months, we didn't have any cases except for 2 weeks ago where we had a typical kind of case, but that was managed very nicely, and we have only 1 local transmission. So Mauritius has been COVID-safe for the last 9 months, we would say. Unfortunately or fortunately, we have not opened the frontiers. So if you're coming down in Mauritius, you are quarantined for 14 days, compulsory paid quarantine, and this is not very encouraging for people to come down. Having said so, the government has also come up with a long-term visa, which is allowing people to come down in Mauritius to work. Being on the beach, you can imagine the whole picture, the sea, the beach, and you can work from there. Obviously, this is where we want to differentiate ourselves. Let's hope that this is going to bring some more business to the island. But right now, we are all competing on the local customers, as Abbas rightly said. Going forward, we'll see how the long-term visa works out. Second one is the Seychelles. I have to congratulate the Seychelles authorities because they've been very bold. They have opened the frontiers. I think we have the chairman of the tourism board on the panel. I've seen her on some of the discussion. They have been very bold. Maybe we can learn from them how they actually open the market and how they have actually starting to receive and welcoming guests. And there we are managing right now. As far from the Maldives and the Madagascar, we are open, but obviously would have wished to have more guests coming in. And we are just waiting on the situation as soon as the vaccine and the whole process next year, maybe later next year, looking at welcoming more guests. That's how we are right now in the Constance hotels.
Thank you, Roshan. Walid, are you ready?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Guilain, for moderating this panel. And thanks for the organizers who made it so special and so unique. Thanks to everyone who's part of this. My name is Walid Salhiya. I'm a regional sales manager of Hoist Group. I manage the Middle East and North Africa market. I have over 17 years of experience in the hospitality industry. I regularly engage with hotels of all sizes to leverage technology to help them outsmart their competitors. Hoist Group develops and provides technology to the hotels. The quarter in Sweden, Stockholm. Hoist Group has over 25 years of experience in the hospitality technology segment. We have a wide range of products from property management system and booking software, IPTV solution, internet access and managed IP networks. We have door locks and mobile keys. We have Serviator, the task management system for the housekeeping staff. Dashboard 24/7 support. We have more than 20 offices across EMEA region. I'm personally based in Dubai. Our head in Stockholm in Sweden. And from Dubai, we manage all the business in Middle East and Africa and the Asia Pacific and Indian Ocean as well. For the COVID-19 situation, actually for us, it was an opportunity. It was not really bad. As Abbas said, most of the hotels, they focus on the IT part, and here is our role play. So we have even customized and developed the products, helping hotels to come out from the COVID-19 era or situation. And even during the COVID-19, like for example, online gift cards to promote more the F&B. We have even our dashboard system. We integrated and we have developed some kind of features related to COVID-19 to give you live updated status about the COVID-19. The hotel can do more planning. And also the mobile key. Most of the guests nowadays, they want to have contactless stay in the hotel. So you can access the room using your mobile app and mobile key and so on. So this is basically about myself and about the Hoist Group. And thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Walid. Harish.
Thank you, Guilain. Thank you, event organizer, for organizing such a great event and calling us here to discuss about future of hospitality industry in terms of digital and mobile. My name is Harish Chandra. I'm Chief Technology Officer of Sarovar Hotels. We have got 94 hotels in India and Africa. In India, we are present in almost every part of our state. In Africa, currently we have hotels operating in Kenya and Lusaka. We are also opening hotels in Ethiopia, Harish, Tanzania. I have got 26 years of experience. I started my career as a room service captain 26 years back. Then I switched on to airlines, where I learned a lot of things about DOS commands, Fox Pro, Clipper. Those technologies have gone now. It is a time of transformation. Things are changing very fast. I worked with airlines for 4 years, and I used to make load and trim sheet of Boeing 737, 200 and 400. I used to take care of commercial operations, MIS, a lot of things, which have really helped me to learn a lot of things about technology. I joined Micros Fidelio, Middle East Key Information Technology in 1998. 22 years back, I was with Oracle Hospitality. I used to travel to Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, Yemen, all the countries. And I learned a lot of things about hotel operations and how technology can help, whether it's material management, PMS, yield management. That has really given me a lot of boost in my career and a lot of understanding of hospitality industry. Then I have worked with various domestic chains, international chains like Lee Meridian, Intercon Hotels, Southwest Asia Corporate Office. I have worked with Hawaii Telecom. I was the business unit head. So basically, I have seen both the sides of table in terms of business partner for hospitality and as a decision maker at a unit level or a corporate level. We try to keep things simple in Sarovar. We keep it simple and sober. We adopt principle of KISS. Basically, digital transformation is the only way we can be present in this business. This is what I can say, and I hope everyone is safe during this unprecedented time. Things are going to change. C stands for COVID. C also stands for continuity, continuous improvement, and contactless. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harish. So thank you all of us for explaining what you are doing, who you are, and what your company doing. The main topic of today is digital hospitality. We have cut discussion into several parts, and the first one is about internet penetration, what it means in terms of IT infrastructure, broadband, and things like that. But first of all, what is a digital hotel, Pieter?
Thank you. Thanks. Yes, I hope I could stretch our context here. I think when it talks about digitalization, all of us has read some sort of paper, right? And it's very broad. I think the mistake we make many times is we talk about internet penetration or high bandwidth, etc. I think what we learned, especially running cruise liners and aeroplanes and hotels, we try to digitalize the experience of the customer and try to have platforms that could run in the air without internet, run on the middle of the ocean without internet, and run on a resort or an island where I have low bandwidth access. So I do not account necessarily digitalization to high bandwidth, high internet, 3G, 5G. I think that's the first distinction I would like to make, because you can have a very nice digital experience on a cruise ship that is effectively a floating hotel without the internet experience, as long as you have very good Wi-Fi infrastructure in your hotel. So I think the second thing is, when we talk about digital hotels, for me, there's a big distinction between the direction that business hotels are taking versus customer or holiday experiences, where the holiday maker still wants to have interaction with the staff. They want to have a barman there. They want to have someone on the beach, maybe serving cocktails. They want to maybe talk to an agent about excursions, where a business experience and expectation is very different. For them, time optimization efficiency is a highest priority. They want to get in, make a reservation, don't necessarily want to talk to people. So I think the definition of what we mean by digital resorts and holiday experiences versus business hotels is going to deviate more and more and more. So, and for me, digital is all about serving the customer, whether that's a business user or whether that's a holiday maker. So how can I help him to answer his questions, spend more time on the pool, having to walk less to the kiosk or to your front desk to find out when the next bus is out to, go see the volcanoes or go see excursion, being able to book very easily and quickly. So we've done a lot of innovation, and we use our cruise ships as an innovation platform that we then roll out to the hotels. And the reason for that is we refurbish the cruise ships quite often. So we put in high bandwidth Wi-Fi infrastructure on the cruise ships. That allows us to track customers' behavior. We can see where they are, where they're moving. We have digital screens everywhere in the corridors. I don't know if you ever try to walk on a cruise ship. And when you just arrive on your cruise ship, you try to find, constantly get lost. Am I walking in the right direction? So actually knowing who the customer is, when he walks up to a digital display, greeting him by his name, telling him, hey, your reservation to sushi bar is to the right, 2 stairs up left, being able to make that sushi bar reservation without actually leaving his cabin or having to go somewhere else, being able to sit next to the pool, order a cocktail without getting up, worry about losing his son, his chair. So personalization, for me, digitalization is not a goal in itself. It's a means towards a personalized experience. It's a means towards efficiency, both on the staff side of our hotels and on the customer side of our hotels. It's a means towards more efficient operations, maintenance, predictive maintenance. So for me, that's what digitalization is just a means for us to serve our customers better. It is that fine balance between human interaction, predicting what someone wants before he asks, or maybe answer his question before he actually knows he's going to have that question, but still keep that human touch that the hospitality business is really there for. I don't think that digitalization of the hotel or hospitality industry is where we remove human interaction. I think it is where we personalize human interaction. I would love to go on a cruise ship where I walk up to the bar and they say, oh, welcome, Mr. Jordaan. I see you really like this whiskey. I took the liberty and pour you one. For me, that's where we would need to get to, where we really use digital aspects, facial recognition, AI, not to be intrusive, but actually personalize the experience for the customer. I think when it comes to COVID, it's even more important. What people would want to see is feel safe. They want to have a frictionless experience on the holiday. And I think we privilege, we have our own stores. You come to our store, you go on our plane, you get on our bus, you go to our resort, you go see our excursions. So we have the end-to-end. So it's a little bit easier for us to have that connected journey and really innovate and think about what it should look like and feel like. And of course, we need to work with a whole bunch of other hoteliers. I think what the industry is looking for is how do we make post-COVID the travel experience frictionless. After 9/11, we all saw heightened security at the airport. Suddenly you have to come early and there's loads more things you have to do. Your whole check-in experience changed. I think we know that has to happen in the hotel industry. When it comes to digital, post-COVID era, what would that look like? How would that feel? How would technology make that easier? I think a lot of that would have to be about interacting with each other, agencies, sharing of information, making it easy for the customer, not having to share information 10 times. Right now, you go, I don't know how it is where I live, when I go to a restaurant, I literally have to fill in my name and my ID and my telephone number every single time I go to a bar, and then I leave and I go buy coffee. I have to do the same thing over and over and over again. So I think the experience of the industry would need to look at how we use technology to make post-COVID era easier, frictionless, probably also a good opportunity to digitalize, automate. I love what Walid said is, put in keyless and contactless. Many hotels want to do it. They don't have the budget for it because it costs so much to change the keys, right? It's a super expensive thing, and the return on investment just isn't there. But I think it's a great opportunity post-COVID era for us to really think about not just the digital experience we want to have today, where do we want to be in the future? So I think that's what today is about, really think about how we can change the customer experience, whether that's business customers, a holiday, but for the whole travel experience, the whole chain. Once you leave your house all the way to the hotel and back, how can we make that frictionless? So that's my opinion. I'm sure other panelists have different opinions on it, but thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks, Pieter. It's good that you brought the customer view to the discussion and not only the operator view, and that's great. And it was nice talking about the fact of filling in a document when you check in at a restaurant. You have to do that in front. Well, at the moment, restaurants are closed, but when they will open, we will have to do that again. And that's crazy that you have to use a pen and paper to do something that should and could be digitalized. So when it comes to digital hotel, we've got internet access. Broadband access is something essential. So Roshan, how do you manage that at your properties?
I mean, when we are talking about Africa, what comes to my mind, we are at the level of the European country right now. And one of the incidents which comes to my mind is when I was doing a project in Zanzibar, on an island, of course, of Zanzibar, where internet was a challenge. And once we got on the island and really got internet in, imagine my surprise once the guests came coming in and we lost the power. And we lost the power and we lost everything, which means that we lost cellular phone, we lost everything. I mean, on investigation, what actually had happened is the ISP tower was down, but the generator never kicked in. We had to have someone from the main city of 2 hours drive to come down to the hotel, to the tower, to put back the tower on. I mean, this is the kind of condition which you face in Africa, and it's not something we are quite specific. And we need to make sure that we invest in the right infrastructure, make sure that we are viable and that we can go further. I mean, we are lucky in Mauritius because Mauritius is completely cable in fiber optics and internet is not a problem. But in the other island of Africa or in the bigger continent of Africa, we need to see that once we got that inherent problem out, internet now is the prerequisite. The prerequisite for guests. Guests nowadays no longer just look for the room or the location or the amenities. They need internet, and they need internet which is reliable. It's a sine qua non condition for them to come to your hotel. I'll give you an example. I was talking earlier about long-term visa in Mauritius. How can I expect people to come to Mauritius during this COVID to work in Mauritius, but the internet is not working right? My family goes to the hotel. My kids want to play the game online. I want to be on the beach watching Netflix. I want to have internet when I want to work. So it's different kind of needs, and internet needs to be there and needs to be there reliably. Not only that, if I look again to the case of Constance, look at the islands in the Maldives, for instance. Our team members live on the island for 1 year, 2 years, depending on the contract, away from the family. And you can imagine the engagement if they can't talk to the family. So we need also to make sure that the internet for our staff members also are there, so that they can actually connect to the family and become really engaged and deliver the brand promise which we have. Obviously, as internet, we are increasing the speed every day, and we are lucky that in Constance Hotels, the management and the board understand that the future is technology and that we need to invest in internet. And as we are investing into the internet, we also need to make sure that we are bringing the security together. We all know what happened to some of the big groups recently with all the GDPR lawsuit which is happening recently. So we need to make sure that whenever we are bringing in, we are increasing the internet, good, but make sure that we are also increasing the speed of the security of the internet, protecting the guest data. Not only that, your management staff, we are on the move. We are like Pieter was saying, I want to see a guest, I want to wow the guest, I want to be able to really be surprising and give him the whiskey, for instance. They need internet too, they are mobile. So internet today, for me, is going to be a sine qua non condition for everybody, for the whole community in the hotel. Internet is going to be like our new goal in the hospitality industry.
Thank you, Roshan. Walid, I think I've got a right question for you, because your company is European, so you are very familiar with GDPR. So what is the impact of that over the overall IT infrastructure, security, and compliance?
Actually, yes, our products, they are GDPR compliant for sure, because nowadays even you cannot implement any solution to hotel if it's not GDPR compliant, and even consultants will be playing a big role there to make sure that you are complying with the GDPR nowadays. Back to digital hotel and the internet penetration, in my opinion, the technology trends nowadays moving from physical to the digital world. Everything to be digital more than physical, especially with the COVID-19 nowadays. You have applications, it's like a tool, it can help you. It will not, let's say, move away the human interaction. It's just assisting. It's a tool to assist the hotel to provide a better or more rich experience to their guests. Internet, for sure, internet speed, as Roshan said, internet access, internet speed, and the security is very important. Even inside the holiday destination, Pieter, in my opinion, because in the holiday destination, you have families, you have more than one guest in the room. Imagine a whole family in one room staying and multiple devices. The parents and the kids, each one is holding a tablet and a mobile, and all of them, they want to have different access to the internet. Some of them, they want to stream content to the TV. Some of them, they want to watch YouTube. Maybe the father has a Skype call. So you need always to provide a rich internet experience to your guest. We should not also forget the rating on the social media. Rating, guest satisfaction, it's playing a big role nowadays in the market. And this is how you compete as a hotelier. And this is how you have a rate from your guest, and it brings you more business. Nowadays, one of the main topics you get a rating on social media is your internet speed and Wi-Fi coverage everywhere. Plus, of course, the health measures you are taking and all the precautions for the COVID-19, which I think the digital hotel is allowing you to be on the peak of this by having solutions to the guests to use their own mobile or using some applications to have more contactless stay, and everybody will feel safe. From a mobile app, you can control the TV, you can book a spa, you can book in a restaurant using your mobile app. Still, human interaction will be there. For sure, when you go to the restaurant, people will interact with you. They will give you a warm greetings. I agree with you, because we cannot also put away home feeling when you go and you get a treatment, a smile from a person, a human interaction. interaction will always positive remark with you, and it will go away after your stay. So what hoteliers are looking for nowadays, the guest return, this is the most important, and to get a good rating on the social media. The guest return is very important. If the guest goes to any hotel, I have personal experiences when I go to hotel, I can see in my eyes the safety measures they are taking, how proactive sanitization everywhere, what they are doing, how everything is digital, which make me more comfortable for myself and for my family and my kids. If everything is digital from my own devices, I can control everything. It's more safe for me. And even it's helping a lot, and it's saving lots of time. Even to have it in a level as a digital kiosk on the reception, I saw it myself. You can do the check-in without interacting to anyone, without touching any paper, without holding a pen. So you have a digital kiosk, you can do the check-in, you can get your key, you can go to the room, much less interaction, especially when you have to fill and go to the routine procedures and the process when you are at this stage. And for sure, internet speed and internet coverage and the security, for me, it's the most important guest-facing technology nowadays, more than anything else, more than the TV, because guests, wherever they are using their mobile, whether they are on the beach, on the pool, on the restaurant, everywhere. They want to take pictures, selfies, Instagram, social media. So always they need to have full coverage wherever they are. They want to have a good speed, good bandwidth. And again, digital, you can have a smart solution, smart internet access solution. It can do smart bandwidth management. It's intelligent solution, depends on your usage. If you are using social media, it gives you the right bandwidth. If you are using a Skype call, video call, conference call, watching a movie on the internet, it can give you the right bandwidth with the security implemented for sure, as Roshan said. This is my opinion, and thank you so much.
And can I maybe just clarify? Walid made a valid point. I think what I mentioned with bandwidth versus digital, what I think, in my opinion, is that just because you have high bandwidth, that doesn't necessarily make you a digital hotel. So that's the distinction I'm making. I'm not saying bandwidth is not important. Of course it is. It's like oxygen, right? But I think also, Roshan made a very good point. We are in Africa. We are on islands. You are on a cruise ship, right? So of course you can have high bandwidth internet. You're just going to pay for it. So design your hotel to have failures in internet. Design your experience, your guest experience, to have failure in internet. So what we do with cruise ships, we design it so you have a data center that has your movie streaming on the cruise ship, even though you don't have satellite connectivity in the middle of a sea day. We have high Wi-Fi bandwidth, so people connect to the Wi-Fi. They can do bookings, they can see the excursions, they can make their payments. So the experience is digital, even though you're not connected to the physical internet. So I think that's the distinction I'm trying to make, is that, of course, we need high bandwidth internet for guests. That's a high requirement. Totally agree. But also, let's connect our hotel, make it digital, and design for failure, design for interruption, and design for offline modes, because they will occur. Of course, they will occur. And that's the distinction I want to make, just add to Roshan and Walid's points. I agree.
I always believe very good technology will never replace the human interaction, for sure.
So I want to add something for the internet and the digital issue. It's one condition for the instruction of Egyptian Ministry of Tourism how to operate your hotel during COVID-19. You must make big challenge to contactless with the guest. So how to be contactless to operate your hotels during the crisis? All of management thinking about to get the license to operate the hotels during the crisis. We need to do some conditions. With the most conditions wanted to apply to operate the hotel is to make contactless. How to make contactless, as mentioned Walid and Pieter to mention about digital to reduce the contactless with the guests and keep the guests safe, to convert all services in the hotels to be digital, to completely digital hotels, to less the contactless and keep your guests safe. This is the most conditions. And the internet to convert your hotel to be digital, it's linked with the internet. So the both things, it's very important for us to convert your hotel at the digital. We need to use the internet connections, and internet connection in the hospitality now since long time like a tower. You can accept it you cannot accept it. There is no towel in the rooms, in the hotels, 5-star or 4 stars. Like the internet like breathe. If internet downs, it can be you cannot breathe, you cannot live, you became out of the world. So the internet, it's a very useful thing and very important thing in our life, not inside the hotels, no, already outside the hotels. This I wanted to mention for this. Thank you.
I want to add something over here. Internet is most sought commodity in hotels after coffee now. Everyone knows about it. We have seen outdoor coverage as access point, then all these access points entering the corridor. Now we need one access point per room. Now technology is changing from 802.11b to C, now to AC, now AX is coming. We want experience like 5G. Everyone is bandwidth hungry. We are entering a world of hyper-connected devices, whether they're IP or non-IP, combination of IoT. I heard Roshan that in one of the island, the tower was able to give the signal of Wi-Fi or mobile connections. So in India, what we are doing is we are putting IoT-based systems so that when the diesel level is down, automatically sends message, or we monitor it from a remote location automatically. All these things are happening. It's a digitally connected world. Everyone wants to be connected. Millionaires spend more than 5 hours on mobile all the time. A guest browses 21 websites before he books. He checks all the reviews. All those things are so popular now. Without internet, no one is going to stay. It's a very basic commodity. This is what I will add, though all my fellow panelists have added everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Harish. Pieter brought something to the table. We are, well, it's a common trait to think that cloud-based solutions are going to replace everything. But when you are on a cruise, it's different. You have to have on-premise and cloud and everything to be connected. So what's happening in hotels? What's your position, Harish? What are you doing? Are you going to everything cloud-based, or are you keeping things on-premise, or what are you doing? What's your position on that?
Currently, it's a hybrid-based solution as of now, and cloud looks very enticing, very promising, but a lot of things need to be changed. We have hotels which are in very remote areas, hill stations where internet is not very stable. So we have to take a call based on a lot of factors. We are a mid-market chain. Proudly, we say that. We want cost of technology to come down. As of now, very few PMSs are cloud-based which are working seamlessly. The main issue with hotel management systems are that for every department we use different software, whether it is point of sale accounts, whether it is time attendance machine, whether it is cost management, store management. There's so many softwares that we use. We are not like BFSI, healthcare, IT, ITS, where we are using one SAP program which interfaces with everything. We have to see that there is an interface with credit card, telephony, there is an interface with back office. So Wi-Fi system, gateways, security, there are multiple challenges. The cost of technology has to come down, though I feel that Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, Amazon services, everything is there. But somehow I have seen that the focus on hospitality is not much by the business partners. All these solutions are made for something like IT, ITS, government education. And the cost of technology is still very expensive for hotels to adopt it. And there are very few players who have come with cloud-based solutions, and those are very expensive. But yes, I feel that the cost of internet is going down. Every remote area is now having good coverage, and with time the cost of technology will go down, and then most of the hotels will adopt it. Currently, we are using PMSs, but as of now, because so many systems are there, so many APIs are there, so many interfaces are required, we will wait for some more time to get it mature to adopt it. That's it. Thank you, Guilain.
Thank you, Harish. Abbas, I think you have things to say about that too.
About the cloud. The cloud, we have some of mentality, especially for Egyptian peoples, wants to keep their data on site the property, on site the company. Walid, I think they agree with me for this. We have the advantage for the clouds. Clouds, you are online, zero downtime for the downtimes, and you can access from anywhere tablet, from mobile, from PC, from anywhere. It's easy access from anywhere. You have upgraded, always upgraded. You have zero downtime for if you want to make upgrade versions. So you are always on. But disadvantage of this, it's expensive. Like Harish said, it's too expensive for hosting. And some people don't like to go out for their data outside, or launch outside at the hosted, because it's for the owners or for the management, it's a confidential data. Like hospitality for the credit card and the BMS already mentioned on site. So they are afraid to host it all data outside at the hostel. And connectivity in Egypt and Africa, it's not stable at all. It's already covered or reach for 90 or 95% to have internet downs, but probably it's happened one time to make internet down. So if we need to go to cloud, BMS or cloud applications, you need to make more than one backup to be ensured you are online always. So this is the disadvantage and advantage for the cloud. But for my point of view, yes, it's easy for the IT. All things outside, or supported with the company. So it's make easier for the IT to convert all the application to be cloud. So the headache of the IT would be more or less not like on-premises servers, maybe hardware failures inside the site, software or systems down or crash or failure. So it's to avoid all these problems to be cloud. So it's a very advantage for the IT. That's all for this.
Thank you very much, Abbas. We've talked a lot already. It's already nearly 11. One of them was about communication trends and voice-enabled technological advancements. Who has implemented voice control and voice chat in his properties or cruise ships and things like that? Harish, I think you've got things to say about multicultural environment.
So, Guilain, what I will say here is we create a home away from home. We keep technology simple. We also know that we have 4 generations of guests coming in our hotel, which are baby boomers, millennials, generation M or generation Alpha. So what happens is it's a mix and match of different age groups of demographic. But the thing is, I heard that by 2025, 50% of luxury hotels room will be voice enabled. This technology is the future. In this COVID world, no one wants to touch any paper. Say if you are near a room and if you're saying that, hey, put temperature to 24 degrees, and it may be in different international languages, that is good. If not 100%, at least 80% guest needs would be satisfied. If I want to order for, say, 2 shampoos, or I want soft pillow, or I want 2 beer, or 1 bottle of wine, I can complain, I can request for any service. So maybe it is not very effective today for room service orders, but for a lot of things, I have tried testing this in one of my hotel. For room service, when I say that I need a sandwich, it asks me, you want a grilled, toasted or plain sandwich? You want a vegetarian or non-vegetarian sandwich? Are you allergic? It asked me so many questions that I was not very comfortable to use it for room service. But for other things, it has got a lot of analytics value. If you have ordered a shampoo, if it is taking more than 10 minutes, it may be escalated to executive housekeeper to GM, and you can also gauge the productivity of staff. You can become more operational efficient. It will really help you to see that which all area hotels need to do a lot of innovations or improvement to reach certain level of guest experience. It's all about experience. All these technologies are maturing, and we can do a lot of things by making room voice automated, open the drapes, open the door lock, example I'm saying. So it is a future, it is an upcoming technology. I see it as a futuristic upcoming technology. Thank you.
Can I add something? I think when we talk about voice, actually there's 2 aspects. There's speech to text, and then there's the interface of chat. So, and I like what Harish says, is there's 4 generations. My kids, yeah, they can't type, but they can definitely talk, and they talk to everything. So that generation wants to talk. They want to use voice to text. But more and more people are comfortable using chat channels to inquire. So I think the bridge is not going to be natural. It's not going to be phone and then suddenly voice. It's going to be phone, then chat channels, either on your mobile app, asking maybe guest services questions through chat messages. And then later on, the next generation will, instead of chatting on the channel, they will just ask via voice. So, we've experimented with both, and I think the thing that has a lot of traction right now is chat channels. The other area that we don't naturally think about a lot of voice to text is actually helping with language barriers. So my kids, I traveled with them. They say, "Hey, Dad, can I borrow your phone?" I say, "Why? What do you want to do with my phone?" So, "Can I use Google Translate?" So they were playing in a park. One kid is French, the other one's German, and they're speaking English. And they switch to Google Translate auto translation on, and they will talk, give it to the other person, and they will play. So the actual voice to text is actually very, very useful when it comes to understanding different dialects, different languages in your guest services. Even if you use it behind the scenes, you have a little, maybe tablet and actually listens and gives you the text out, and it helps you. So I think that we will find more and more voice-to-text applications, not necessarily just combined or confined to Google Assistant or Alexa. So I think I separate these in two things: chat channels, which is very useful, I think, in guest services, even in staff. Our staff have channels for maintenance, channels for all sorts of things. The back office is basically now running on chat channels. I run a massive global team, and they're all just using chat channels to communicate. No more emails, no more telephoning each other. So, and then I think on top of that is voice to text.
I just wanted to add on that. I mean, I'm just reflecting back a couple of years ago. I think the technology is not ready yet. It's going to come, but it's just a market. The people has, like all my predecessors have said, is once the people get matured enough and the technology get matured enough, it's definitely going to be there. I still recall when a guest, the experience he has in his living room, he wants to have the same kind of experience when he comes to your hotel. And as they start getting into the voice, I'm using Alexa at home, my kids are using Alexa at home. Once they're getting used to that kind of comfort which they have at home, they would like to see the same thing when they come to your hotel. So down the line, for sure, this kind of technology is definitely going to be there. But we are not there right now. Maybe it's going to be 3, 4 years, 5 more years once the technology gets to the right level. But definitely it's coming our way.
Thank you,
Just
Roshan.
want to add something here. Guilain, if you permit me, let me add some humor here. And let me tell you, guests have got some worry also once they use all this voice-based technology. The guest thinks that I'm heard. Example, I'll tell you, if you're talking about, say, some wine, or if you're talking about some jewelry, you go to your Google, you go to email, you will see a lot of advertisements of jewelry and other wines which are coming by side. So some guests have worry related to privacy. This issue also needs to be resolved up to some level before it is easily adopted by all the guests.
That's very true, yes. Thank you. So all of these chat and voice-enabled technologies are related to artificial intelligence and machine learning. That's obvious. So from what I hear from you, it's not only hype; it's a long-term trend, and it's going to come in the next 3 or 4 years. And for you, how can AI be used? Where can it be used? IoT, chat, revenue management, recruitment, where could it be used? What's your opinion as a hotelier? Abbas?
Yes. For the chatbot, it's very useful tools for the hospitality field. For example, you want to reduce the manpower for the hotels and contact lists during the crisis. We can implement the chatbot, especially for the guest in-house and for the guest outside before arriving. He wanted to know about any information about the hotel. He can access the chatbot for the hotel on the website. So any questions you recognize, you give the answer quickly without wasting your time with the people, with the guys, with the telephone and everything. We already make the pilot study in our company who applied the chatbot in the reservation department. Already we have cluster reservations to serve for 15 hotels in Hurghada, in Egypt, and 6 Nile cruises. And we already implemented the chatbot for guests to reserve rooms or reserve a meeting rooms in our company. Just he posed his questions quickly, he get response answers. This is before coming to the hotels. And if you would like to know the facility of the hotels, just put it the facility. After, this is before arrival. After the arrivals, they can know the rates, know the hotel facility, know all services and restaurants before arrivals through chatbot. During in-house, I wanted to know my Wi-Fi password. So I have to put it Wi-Fi. The chatbot replied to the customers with the username and access code for the Wi-Fi quickly, without any, in the second, know the party today, know the event today or during the week, know everything inside the hotel. So chatbot, it's a very good tools, especially in the hospitality, to get quick answer. This is my point of view of this chatbot used for the hospitality.
Thank you, Abbas. One quick question, if you could just raise your hand to say yes. Have you heard about recruitment applications using AI as Meetic, for example, is doing? Would you use such a technology to recruit people for your team? Only 2 of 6 would use such application. Wow. Good to see. Someone is willing to talk? Peter?
I think, yeah, maybe I can add. I think when we think about AI will be everywhere. Number one. Number two, AI will probably do a better job at recognizing certain patterns and things than humans, for sure. When it comes to behavior, personality stuff, of course, then you need to interview a person and make sure they fit to the team. But when it comes to actually large-scale data analysis stuff, AI is just purely better. Okay, so we use AI like almost, we try to use it everywhere. We use it for yield management of our beds to seat ratios, actually pricing of our hotel beds, security, tracking people on properties, it will be there. Facial recognition, that is AI, knowing who a person is. We on the cruise ship takes a picture, or in the hotels takes a picture of your face, all the photos that has been taken by the photographer, and spits out all the images that you are part of, and you can buy them. Okay, AI will be everywhere. So I think that the challenge for us is how do we use AI in a non-intrusive way to make the experience better, to make it easier and quicker for us, and actually penetrate areas where us as humans naturally would find it super hard to deal with that type of dimensions. So we also use AI in searches, predictive searching, matching where people actually look on a screen. Do they like this type of pool image? Do they like, a holiday picture where there is a family in, or do they like a holiday picture where there is no family in? You can do so much with AI. It's totally insane. I think the challenge is the actual barrier to enter into it is quite high still. People like Amazon is making it a lot easier with services like facial recognition you can just use through API calls. But I think for hoteliers, slowly, as internet connectivity improves, people will be able to access high-level AI services like facial recognition much easier. We use it, for instance, we take a picture for you when you enter the hotel or you come into the cruise ship, and now that I can use that to recognize you anywhere in the hotel. Anywhere you walk, I know who you are, I know what you do, I know your behavior, I can improve your guest experience. So of course there is privacy issues and all sorts of stuff that the industry needs to work through. But people are becoming more and more happy to actually share their data as long as they know what it's been used for and how it is helping them. So in the back office, in your pricing, in your maintenance, predictive maintenance is also AI. So I think AI is the future. And I read an article by McKinsey that actually did analysis. And they say that the industry that is the furthest behind on AI, but also has the potential of the highest impact in change due to AI, hospitality is in the top 3. The second highest one is logistics, okay, and the top one is actually financial services. So there's huge space for AI to really change and improve the experience for customers. So we try to invest in it, and I think more and more things will just automatically penetrate people's lives through AI.
Thank you, Peter, for your insight on this. Well, we still have to cover the mobile application. It's important to remember how people came to the internet. In continents like Europe and and the US, for example, we were used to work on PC, and we used the internet on PC before we went to mobile. In some continents, people have gone to internet on mobile directly without a PC. So it's in some part of the world, it's obvious that mobile app is the only thing people are using. You can have a web app or a mobile app, and I think it's important to explain the difference between the two. So Roshan, I think you wanted to.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to explain that because it's been part of my experience, actually. I would say about 5 to 6 years ago, as part of our digital strategy, we wanted to implement an app. Obviously, the first choice which we went for was for a native app, which was something which makes sense for us. But unfortunately, once we implemented the native app, we realized that the acceptance or the takeoff was not there. If we were having like 6 to 7% of our guest population which was taking the native app, it was like very well. Even though we were doing incentives, we were giving spa vouchers, we were trying all kind of incentive for them to use it, it was not there. I mean, the problem with the native app, people do not want to download the app. Obviously, it's expensive. We have to develop. It takes time. And at the same time, as soon as Apple or Google try to change their operating systems, or there's a new update on the iOS and so on, you also need to keep track with that. And obviously, that was not coming up as we would have wished to. Unfortunately, that project was not successful. We know about it, and we did not stop there. We said, okay, what is the alternative really that we could go so that we can have people really having acceptance for that? And that's where we came to the web app. We've been trying to work on it and really to push it. I don't think it's easy. The advantage of a web app, it's available on all the devices you want, on all the systems, whether it's iOS, Android, Windows, any kind of screen size. It's responsive, it adapts to it. More importantly, you're not downloading anything. But on the other side, when you have a web app, if you don't have an internet connection, you definitely would not be able to use it. Hopefully, once our internet penetration is increasing and becoming more stable around the world, this issue would not be there. I mean, for me, I'm asked very often in the company, who is the catalyst of innovation in your company? And they ask me whether it is the CIO, or is it the CDO, or is it the CEO? And now this time, I have to say that it has been the COV. Really, COVID has been an accelerator for us. We've been trying to push the app. We were not able to do it. But thanks to COVID, it has actually accelerated the whole process. The plan of having a digital roadmap for the past 2 years, we have managed to do it within a month. I mean, it happens after COVID was declared in Mauritius. So we were able to complete the project, and acceptance were there. It was part of our Constance Stay Safe protocol. I mean, it's part of our protocol to make sure that we are frictionless, like Pieter was mentioning before, so it's contactless. So we came up with the app, was quick to develop. I mean, you can imagine how fast we went. If it was for the native app, it would probably not be there. And obviously, when we came up with the app, we were looking at different features, because today on the market, you're probably going to find a lot of different providers giving you all type of contactless solution. But our choice was based more on what was our main objective. First, we wanted to keep our guests safe, so we have to make sure that they are safe and happy. Second, we wanted to really increase their guest engagement and wow them during their stay. I mean, features like we managed to give them possibility on the app so that they can give us the status of the health while they're in house, or how they were feeling, whether they were feeling happy, or whether they were sad, or whether they were neutral. So we could recover a guest as soon as there is something happening while the guest is still in house. This is very crucial, because if you can recover a guest during the stay, you like recover 50% and manage to get the guest back to you. We even went further. We use the app to integrate it with our PBX, so that the app actually becomes an extension of your room. So if you need to contact the hotel, Pieter was saying the chat one also was introduced so that people could ask requests, frictionless, contactless, and added new features. For me, it's like a roadmap right now. That app is going to be making sure that we are COVID safe, and we are following our Constance Safe protocol, so as to protect the guests are they coming in?
Thank you, Roshan. Abbas, are you using mobile apps already? Are you looking to use mobile apps, and is it only for guests or is it also for staff?
We have at the moment we have web app regarding some points, the following points I mentioned, that the mobile application is useful to the people who use regular or always use the services. Like the Ubers, you keep the mobile app for the service on my mobile. But for the hospitality or hotels, they only keep the hotel mobile app only for the loyalty peoples or loyalty guests to have loyal about your hotel. But for another peoples or another guests, just I wanted to stay my holidays at the hotels once. But if I became loyal, I wanted to keep the mobile of the hotels on my mobile to see to follow the news of the hotel, to follow the upselling, the promotions. It's very good, useful for the post side, for the customers, the loyal customers, and the hotel as well. But for the web app, we are already using with web app to, if you see the analysis last years, to compare how many people download the hotel apps and how many people use the web app. So it's really people to download app to keep the app on their mobile. But it's easy way to use mobile app once for the customers. This is my point of the view of this subject.
Thank you, Abbas. Harish.
I can, sorry.
Oh, yeah, yes, Walid, please go ahead.
I just want to add just one comment after Abbas and Roshan, that customers, the hotel guests, they always like to have an easy access or quick access to the service. So web-based app, QR code, just to scan it, you get everything, the menu in the restaurant, the TV remote control, or any services in the hotel by just scan a QR code, and you get the web-based app. So it's always more convenient to the guest than the native app. Thank you so much.
Walid, you picked my points. The thing is, we use responsive websites irrespective of the platform, Android, iOS, Windows. It fixes to any screen. So that is one. Second is PWA, progressive web applications are the future. Like Abbas said, that guest wants to download only those things like Uber or their bank, NFT transfer, online digital valets, or say Google Maps, or some emails like Gmail or XYZ. Guest, what he's doing on his mobile is he's always busy on social media. Social media analytics cloud is important. Messenger, digital transfer of money. So we have to also do something so that we create different social media advertisements along with all those things to keep guests engaged. When a guest scans a QR code, he gets hotel different details of different services. Now, how to entice him, how to become part of your loyalty program, how to push different notification, how to see where he is at the moment, what he's doing, whether he's at a bar, so can you push him up, offer that there's a 25% discount on XYZ or on food, or say if he's doing a check-in, if you can do some engagement that if you book your dinner today with your family, you get some special discount, or if you refer to one of your friends once you are checking out, we will give you some extra loyalty points. So mobile apps or your different social media or your different progressive web applications can also check the sentiments of guests and make him more closer to your chain. Stickiness can be there, and there can be some extra cross-sell, upsell opportunities for the hotels. Rest all the points my fellow panelists have covered. Thank you.
Can I just add one thing? I think Roshan mentioned internet connectivity again for progressive web apps. We also use it. We use native as well for various other reasons, especially in the airline. We like responsive web apps for the reason that we can run them locally without connected to the internet. So of course it requires you to take the application, you need to deploy it locally, but you can distribute it on your local Wi-Fi, on local URLs. We actually sometimes pop it up in your boundar box of your Wi-Fi. So when you try to connect to the Wi-Fi, automatically your app runs inside the bound boxes. So we like it that way because you can use it whether you're connected or not connected. Cruise ships, we actually use it on the airplane, similar. So to what Harish is saying, regardless of whether you're in the air, whether you're in this middle of the sea, whether you're in a hotel, similar experience, you have connected. You can also capture a lot of analytics regardless of people is connected. The moment they get connected, we download analytics, we know what they clicked on, we know how to customize the experience further on. So I think that is a very important part of of the mobile app in the future also is to see how much time people spend where, how much questions they're asking, which areas they're reading, so we can customize and tailor our customer experience and also make it safer for them. So thank you.
Thank you, Peter. We only have 5 minutes left, and if anyone has a question to ask, I think it's the right time to put it in the chat or the Q&A section. Sorry. Walid, as a technical company, what are your customers using? Are they using a guest-facing app or apps for their operations, for their staff, for maintenance, and things like that?
For sure. For the operation side, we have, for example, the task management solution, which, you know, the housekeeping, they can use a native app because they are using it regularly. And actually, we have both. We have web-based app and native app, but usually they go with the native app because we maintain it and we take care of it, and they use it regularly. And it's like a checklist for the housekeeping, including with that the COVID-19 measures and all the safety precautions and the hygiene and sanitization of the room. And for the guest-facing, on the other side, mostly are web-based app because as hoteliers are always informing us, guests, they want an easy access to the service. They don't want to waste time or to consume lots of time downloading the app, and it might fit with their platform or their mobile or not. They want to access the service, the application from their laptop, from any mobile, whether it's iOS or Android or any Windows operating system. So this is actually what we face always with the hoteliers.
Thank you, Walid. We only have 2 minutes left. Who would like to add something to the discussions we have?
Guilain, I would just want to tell you something. We feel that COVID has done the disruption, but this disruption was done long back by companies like Airbnb or Tribo or Oyo Hotels. These people, they never had any hotel, and they've used technology the most. Let me tell you success story of Oyo Hotels. They have 50 million downloads of applications. In 3 easy click, you can book their rooms. In 5 seconds, you can book a room. It's all about 2-3 touch and everything is done. Traditional hoteliers, we never thought of employing data scientists. We never thought we will leverage on the value of artificial intelligence, social media, analytics, cloud, bar, blockchain, artificial intelligence. We never thought of all those things. And still, I feel most of the hotel chains have not taken actual steps to take their business to next level. So all these technology companies like Uber Eats, Airbnb, Oyo, they are using technologies. Oyo has got more than 500 data scientists who keep on doing study of market, customer behavior. Traditional hoteliers are very good in giving very good service to guests, but they lack in using technologies, and that's why they are not able to do a lot of things. So digitalization is the only way forward. This is what I will say.
Thank you, Harish, for your point, but you're part of a large group, and within your large groups are a lot of technology companies. So are your hotels going to use all of the technology pieces that your group owns?
We are trying to do that, but the thing is, like I said, the older hoteliers, their mindset is not so sharp as of disruption done by Oyo, Uber, Airbnb, to be very frank with you.
Thank you very much. So we only have a few seconds left. I would like to thank all of you for your time, for your insight. Thank the organization for having us on the round table, and thank you to the people who attended. I hope you've learned or listened to something interesting. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.